I had a way then, losing it all on my own. I had a heart then, but
What is going on, guys? I'm going to be showing you guys how to make set up the Darkcomet RAT 5.3.1. Alright, so first things first, this is a disclaimer. Whatever you do, you probably know this, but whatever you do, don't download random stuff from the internet that you do not know of. So if you are downloading the Darkcomet RAT, which has all this stuff in it, make sure it is a legitimate source. You know where it's coming from, you trust the user, and yeah, I'll put a download link, but it's up to you if you believe me or not. Obviously it's not a rat. I'll open it right now. And it will open up like that. Yeah, so obviously not a rat. It's your choice if you want to trust me or not. But yeah, so let's go forward. First things first, you're gonna need this and you're gonna need this. This is the no IP duck and this is the Darkcomet RAT 5.3.1. First, you're gonna want to make an account on noip.com. Make an account and then click on add a host. And once you go here, you want to type in your host name. You can type in, for example, I don't know, you can do this, random, and make sure it's on no-ip.biz. This is the extension you want to use. Make sure it's DNS host A. This is my VPN's IP. It should be, don't touch this, it should have your IP right there. Unless you don't know your IP, you can just go to cmyip.com and it would tell you your IP right here. Alright, so then you would just click on update host. I already set mine up. So yeah, update your host, set that up, do all that, and then open up your duck. Sign into your duck, I'm just going to say duck because I don't know what the exact word is, and click on edit hosts. And then once you have your edit host, once you're in here, check your host that you selected and click on save. And it should work. Yeah, there you go. And now minimize that. You're done with the no IP stuff. That's just making your servers more secure. And then open up your darkcomet.rat.exe. And we'll wait for it to load. There we go. Now, for the purposes of this tutorial, we will be using the port 200. You can use the default port, which is 1604, but you can use any port really. Just for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 200. Alright, so first things first, just click on add new socket, but make sure there's nothing here. And I'm going to type in 200 and check this. It's basically trying to port forward it on your router if your router allows that option. Click listen. Now that you have that, you want to go up to your router and port forward everything. And I will be right back when I have that open. Alright, now since I'm using a Telus router, it looks like this, but your router might look different. Normally you want to go into your firewall and then it should say port forwarding. And for the starting port you want to put 200, and for the ending port you want to put 200. And then put protocol as TCP. Now for your LAN IP address, open up this, go into CMD, and type in IP config. Now, for this, I'm not going to do this for obvious reasons, but because it would show all your network's information and stuff. So yeah, once you go there, it should show all that stuff. Scroll up to your IPv4 address, and it should say 192.168.something. And just type it in like this. .something. Usually it's 1.something. I'm going to replace the zeros with whatever yours is. And yeah, and then click on apply, or whatever yours is, save, blah blah blah. And then do the same thing, except for the protocol, use UDP. And do the same LAN IP address you use. And once you set that up, you don't need that anymore. And then you want to go on canyousseeme.org. I'll put all these links in the description. Since I'm using a VPN for the purpose of this tutorial, it's not going to work. Like this website's not going to work because I'm using a VPN. But for yours, it will. Like, it should work, because unless you're using a VPN. Anyways, type in 200 right here and click on check your port. And here it should say success. I can see your port, or I can see your service on blank blank blank. And yeah, and if it says success, you know it's working. If not, then go on port forwarding tutorial websites and figure out how to port forward. Alright, so now that you have that set up, you can finally open up Darkcomet and click this and make sure it's listening. And make sure it's listening, and go here and click on the full editor. Now for this, don't worry about the security password. Generate a random process mutex a couple times, and don't worry about these, just leave them blank. The firewall bypass is basically, if you don't plan on encrypting the sub and you don't plan on using Sandbox to test it out, then don't check this. Yeah, I'm not going to check it. So for the hosts file, you want to type in your IP right here, and the port you want to type in 200. I'm just going to leave mine on the default one because I'm not sending mine to anyone. So yeah, then for the module startup, click on the start the stub with Windows. For the best way to keep it hidden, I would drop the file in their temp folder and save it as system32 DLL. And then you want to click or check melt file after first execution. Don't worry about the file creation date unless you really want to. Yeah. And for the persistence installation, it basically makes it so when they kill it, it comes back. And check all of these. Now for the install message, I'm just going to use the default one, which is welcome to Darkcomet Rat. If you see this message, it means the stub successfully runs and you appear in the master user list. Obviously don't use that unless you want them to know they're being ratted, which usually you don't, so yeah. You can even customize the icons. Yeah. So there you go. And for the module shield, check all of these because that's just gonna hide it. Don't check these because it will raise suspicion. Like, it'll obviously disabling their user account control, their firewall, their registry, and their task manager. They'll be like, why is this disabled? So yeah, obviously don't check these unless you really want to hit the person hard and you want them to know that they're obviously have a virus. But even if you disable all these, there's still a way for them to get into their firewall and all that. So it's not really recommended. And yeah, so don't worry about the keylogger, host file, plugins, and the file binder and the icon. These icons are all fake. They look different than the normal icons, so don't use them. After the stub finalization, don't do anything. Keep it as an exe file. And if you want to use this, if you want to make multiple rats, then save the profile. So yeah, build this up. I'm gonna call mine test. And it should say done here. Alright, it is done right there. And you can close this up. And here's your rat. Make sure you don't open it by accident or else it will cause damage to your computer. So yeah, basically you're done. If you do want to test it on yourself, right click it and run it with Sandbox. I will put a link to Sandbox. It's basically like a virtual server. It runs stuff outside your computer, so it won't affect your computer. So yeah, we can set an error message to that, and we'll click OK. And there. For some reason, it's not appearing on the master use list. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm using a VPN. Oh, there we go. There we go. It showed on here. It says you have a new user, blah blah blah. So yeah, we infected ourselves, and now once you have that person infected, you can do stuff with their computer. For example, you can look at their system info. You can see where they are. You can find out their IP. You can go to piano, which I like. Beep, play music on their computer. Send a message box. Like lol, you got ratted. And you would send it to their computer. And yep, there we go. Lol, you got right. And Microsoft Reader. I don't think this always works, but I'll try it. Yeah, it doesn't work. But yeah, everything else works. You can do all these. Set up a remote chat. This would be your master control. This would be, they won't, like, obviously, like, they can't close this. Only you can close it from here. And you can nudge their screen, type in hello, and it would go to their screen. You'd be like, who is this? I don't know. And you can close it like that. There you go. There's system functions. There's all this. There's scripting. There's files management. You can view their files. You can delete their files. You can look at their passwords. Just click refresh and it'll show you a list of their passwords. Spy. Look at their webcam. Hear what they're saying. Look at them through a remote desktop. Like, look at their desktop pretty much. There's all this stuff. You can turn off their computer. Do all sorts of stuff. It's up to you, really. And since we have it sandbox, we can terminate the program, and it's gone. That's only if you use it with sandbox, because we didn't infect our computer technically. So yeah, basically that's how you use it. That's when you rat someone, that's how you use it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will include a link of all of these in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.